In 2014, we had our first daughter, Lena. She's 7 now. Fast forward 2 years later, we found out we were going to have another baby girl. We found out that she had tetralogy of Fallot and that she had a brain defect called agenesis of her corpus callosum. And really it just means that middle part of her brain just never formed. But we knew we loved her more than anything, and that's all that mattered.
We spent a ton of time, energy, efforts to figure out where do we, find the best place that's going to be suitable for Marin and something that we could really get behind and feel just really good about.
The Rise School is a preschool in Austin, Texas. We are intentionally inclusive. Half of our children come to Rise presenting as typical learners, and half of our children come to Rise presenting with some sort of developmental delay or special needs. Through a unique co-teaching model and therapeutic model, we provide each and every one of our students with a high-quality education.
I teach the Preschool 1 classroom at the Rise School. Every single child is included and loved and nurtured, and the only thing that's a little different is we focus on some specific goals of other children to make their life easier, more successful, to help foster those peer relationships.
We knew that there was going to be challenges in multiple arenas with Marin in that regard, but with speech, we kind of had a pretty good inkling early on that there was going to be some needs.
With the help of Reagan and our outside speech therapist, we started with the talker, and honestly, I give so much credit to Katie and Carol and Riley, and they just wholeheartedly included that into Marin's life at school. And I think because she was immersed in it, she has taken off.
She's now asking questions, asking when questions, and asking where questions. She's able to do that and build these long sentences. And I think the really exciting thing this year that kind of just threw me over the edge, a student came in and he had left his monkey outside. And he came up to her and he's like, "Marin, you won't believe what happened." And she said, "What?" And he was like, "I left my monkey outside." And she was like, "Oh no." And then he was like, "Yeah, and it got wet." And she was like, "Oh no, Kai." And I was like, oh my gosh. Marin had an organic conversation, no prompting, no one said anything. She used her voice and she just talked with Kai. She has all the great qualities of a friend. The piece that was missing was communication.
She can name off all of her friends. She's showing us what she knows. She knows all of her colors and her letters. She can spell her name with her talker.
She gets so excited talking about the class and talking about everybody, and she gets this little grin on her face. Every week there's something new that she does that makes us feel like there really isn't anything that at some point in time that she won't figure out.
If I can be a strong building block in their foundation of how to include your neighbor, how to be friends with someone who's a little different than you, if I can build that love and compassion and understanding, I'm setting them up for success for life. I want them to engage. I want them to feel comfortable in their environment. Well, that starts here. We have to do it when they're little.
Rise is just like a one-of-a-kind school. It's not just for kids who have maybe diverse abilities, it's for everyone. And for kids who are typically developing, they don't have any developmental delay, they become leaders, they learn empathy. As a parent, when we first started, there was always that little bit of worry or scare, like, is my kid gonna be included? Is she gonna be liked? Is she gonna have friends? But I feel like Rise has empowered her so much, and I feel like that is setting a tone for her for the rest of her life.
It can be hard. It can be hard to be a child. It can be hard to be a child with a disability. I think having that confidence so you know your worth and that you are worthy, you don't need to fit in this perfect little box that everyone else is going to try to push you into, because you are unique, you are your own person, you can do hard things.